On a top 10 list of the most hated and the most beloved characters in Steven Universe, Lapis Lazuli can be found on both of them. Some people really love her, and some people can't even stand the sight of her. I was always somewhere in between the two, sometimes really liking her, and sometimes really frustrated with her. A lot of people considers Lapis little more than a plot device, and argue that her quote-unquote erratic behavior is just a result of the creators not knowing what to do with her character, and therefore they just stuffed her in a barn with Peridot, and then just more or less forgot about her. To be honest, that was more or less my thinking all the way up until I started writing episode 2 of The Hidden Humanity of Jasper, where I tried to explain why Jasper wanted to be Malachite again, despite Lapis Lazuli's abuse. But as I rewatched the Lapis episodes, I started seeing her in a new light, and then it all just clicked all of a sudden. People complain at Lapis' lack of character development, but I think it's just because her character development is very subtle, and not very easy to advance in great strides because of Lapis' personality. You see, the reason it's harder to understand Lapis' actions is that, contrary to, for example, Jasper, who is a proactive person who actively tries to control the world around her, Lapis is passive, meaning that she reacts to the world as it acts on her, which makes her immediate conflict a lot more external, meaning that unlike Jasper, who seeks to change the world around her to suit her needs, Lapis doesn't change the world so much as she either avoids it or endures whatever the world does to her. That was at least the case in the beginning. So, because she cannot control what the world does to her, she can only control how she lets it affect her. And this is where the true core of Lapis' motivations and actions come in, because Lapis' strongest tool for self-protection is rejection. Something she started doing after she was separated from her fusion with Jasper. You see, what Lapis had been forced to do for thousands of years was just to have to deal with being completely powerless, and be at the mercy of whatever other gems, as well as the universe at large, wanted to do to her. Imprisoned and mistreated without even the ability to talk back to her abusers. She was truly powerless in her situation, which cemented her passive and reactive nature of having the world inflict itself onto her. But when she was free, and the whole debacle with Jasper's return to Earth with Peridot was over, and she was free of her fusion with Jasper, she had now gotten the option to reject and push away the things she didn't want in her life. This rejection takes one of two shapes. Rejection of meaning and weight, as in, let's say, not caring if she almost drowned someone, and rejection of negative elements in her life, as in not even wanting to compromise in sharing a space with Peridot, since she would not like her presence. Meaning anything that she expects has a potential to hurt her will be rejected and avoided outright, and not be allowed the opportunity to inflict itself on her. The reason she accepts Steven is because she trusts his intentions completely, and knows him for the genuinely sweet kid he is, and only sees him as a positive force in her life. And so, for the most part, you can see who she really is when she is with Steven, because that's when she lowers her guard completely and shows how kind and sweet she can actually be. But if something has a potential to hurt her, she rejects it like the plague, like she so aggressively did with Peridot, because Lapis did not see Peridot as anything but a potential negative, and she is done compromising varying levels of bad things in her life. It was only when she could see Peridot's genuine fear at the Diamond Authority that she could find her in her heart to trust her somewhat. Lapis' uncaring attitude toward very serious things is a defense mechanism born out of being at the receiving side of those things herself, without any way of defending herself. Or rather, the only way of defense was to pacify her emotions and take it on the chin. But that is all I'll cover today. The future episodes will cover all of these things a lot more in depth and go through it all as it happens throughout her storyline. And thank you for watching, and I'll hope to see you there.